Here's one of my many Sabals. This one went in last year, I think in early spring. This is one of my Sabal, Louisiana. And when I bought this palm, it had been in a pot probably for over a decade. Way too long for a Sabal. And as a result, it was in poor condition. When I pulled it out of the pot, I'm not even sure if there's even any soil. So it kind of shows you how tough these plants actually are. So I put it in the ground and it's just a mass of roots. So this is the first year it's probably really going to kind of get its roots out and start really growing. But because of that, I feel that these palms tend to have lower resiliency, lower cold hardiness. So when you buy a plant like that, just realize it's going to take 2 or 3 years for it to really, become a healthy, robust plant again. But I put it in the ground. I really heavily amended the soil here around it, a lot of mulch. And because it's a Sabal, one, I put it in a nice, really sunny spot, and two, I watered the heck out of it. Also did do some mild fertilizer. I top dressed again this spring because the soil had kind of settled around it, exposing a lot of the very fine roots. And the birds, we have these birds and they love digging at the base of plants, so they dug it out. But since I put it in, it has grown, it has responded. I'm not sure if this one here, I think this might have been the first kind of frond it put out since it was in the ground, and then a much bigger one. But look at the ones in comparison. These little ones here, that's what it was dealing with when it was in the pot. We got one that's dying off, and then now we got this new big one coming out. This one's kind of been coming out all winter. It's yellow. You'll find that a lot of your palms will have kind of yellowish fronds. I've not seen it on a Sabal before, but I just think because this one was in such poor condition. But it is starting to put out large fronds. This frond here will turn green the more exposure to sunlight it gets. And there's a nice new spear coming up right there. So I have high hopes for this palm. Louisiana, as per its namesake, is from Louisiana. It's kind of like a Sabal minor on steroids. One of the most cold hardy palms that you can buy. And it will get relatively big. They will form a small trunk over time, and you can expect these things to be 8 or 10 feet overall height, easy. And the one thing that most people report is that this is one of the fastest growing Sabals. And for me, it's one of the slowest growing. It's not that fast. Now it could be because it just got planted. I do have another one and it looks much better. However, it does not grow fast. But the caveat is that one is in the shade now. So we got the big Brazoriensis, and this thing does grow fast. The Sabal Louisiana will have somewhat of a similar appearance to this. I think we're getting a glare. Actually, quite a similar appearance to this guy with time. I will show you the other one. I know some of you have already seen this. This one's been in the ground for, at least a couple years, but because of its location, I think it only puts out about a frond, maybe a frond and a half per year. Look at the heel on that, and you can see those small fibrous roots. This one was the same deal where it was in the pot way too long, but it's starting to look good. This one has a really nice dark green color. The other one isn't as dark green as this. This is actually a wet spot. This used to be an area that I would have standing water, and so I put a lot of mulch, probably 6-8 inches worth. So this is probably tapped into water. There's actually drainage pipes under here to try and take the water away. There's so much. That's kind of why I stuck it over here. But this is my other Sabal Louisiana. Just not as much sun as it needs. And these fronds are actually smaller. So time will tell if this is just a, I don't think it's a regular miner. I think it is Louisiana. I mean, the place I bought it from is pretty reputable, but started from the same seed batch as the one I just showed you. It's got one old frondine back, but this one puts out nice full mature shaped fronds. So we'll see how this one does with time. It's going to be a bit of an issue though. This is a narrow path. But if you're looking for a nice cold hardy Sabal, other than minor, that's a real good bet for you.